Good morning, students. We are starting our lessons again. In this video, we will start with accounting for partnership fundamentals. We had already discussed this chapter. We are revising it. Go through the content properly. Uh, from last year onwards, MCQs or we can say objective type questions are asked. So the theory part is very important because most of the MCQs or this objective questions are based on the theory part. So listen to each and every point carefully, read the book, and regarding doubts you can message me. Today okay we are starting with accounting for partnership firms fundamentals. Okay, this is the second chapter in our book. Here in this video we will be going through the meaning of partnership, then we will discuss features of partnership, and in the next video we will discuss rights of partnership partners and duties of partners. So the second slide in which we will be discussing the meaning of partnership and the definition of partnership. Now the partnership is governed by the Indian Partnership Act 1932, and according to section 4 of the Indian Partnership Act 1932, the definition is partnership is the relation between persons who have agreed to share the profits of a business carried on by all or any one of them acting for all. Okay, this is according to section 4 of the Indian Partnership Act 1932. Please remember this thing. Okay, now from the definition itself, no, partnership is a relationship. That means to enter into relationship, minimum two persons are required. So to form a partnership, at least two persons should be there and who have agreed. Now who can enter into agreement? A person who is a major, who is not a minor. That means in India a person who is 18 years and above is a major. He can enter into agreement or contract. A minor cannot enter into agreement. So at the time of formation of a partnership firm, a minor cannot be admitted as the partner. But according to the provisions of the Indian Partnership Act, for the benefit of the firm, a minor can be admitted. That means once the partnership has been formed, the business is done. Later on, if the partners feel that admission of a minor will benefit the firm, then a minor can be admitted. Okay. Then see the next point is sharing of profits. Now, see here they have used only the word profits. They have not used loss. So it means that sharing of loss, it's not necessary feature of partnership. All the partners need not share the losses, but it is compulsory that each and every partner will be sharing the profits. Okay, then the next term is business. Now what in class 11th we have studied the features of business. So what is business? Business is a regular activity. Okay, like if you are into property business, you will be doing it on a regular basis, buying and selling property. Okay, if you are a ready-made garment dealer businessman, so you will be buying ready-made clothes and selling it on a regular basis, and all these activities are undertaken with the objective of earning profit. Okay, so a random transaction will not be considered as business. Like you purchased a plot and then you kept it for 2 years and then you sold, so it will not be considered as business because it is not done on a regular basis. In the same manner, charity is done by people. If they are doing it on regular basis, then also it will not be considered as business because the profit motive is not there. Okay, then the last line, see, carried on by all or any one of them acting for all. So these words denote that there is a agency relationship between the partners and and principal and agent relationship between the partners. Each partner is principal as well as agent. Okay, now see, now the persons who have agreed to form partnership. Okay, individually they will be known as partners. Okay, we will discuss the maximum number of partners in the later slide. So individually each person who enters into partnership relation will be known as partners. Collectively they will be known as firm, and the name under which they are going to do the business is known as firm's name. Okay, individually they are known as partners, collectively they will be known as firm, and the name under which they are going to do the business is known as firm's name. Now we will be discussing about the features of partnership. The first one, association of persons. Okay, from the definition itself it was clear, no? It was partnership is a relation between persons. So partnership is an association of person, and as discussed, minimum two persons are required to enter into any agreement or relationship. So minimum persons required to create a partnership business is 2, and maximum is 50. Now see, the Indian Partnership Act 1932 is silent regarding the maximum number of partners. Okay, but the limit is prescribed in the Indian Companies Act 1932 and in section 464. Please remember this. Okay, the Companies Act 2013 section 464 prescribes the maximum number of partners to 100. Okay, the government can set the limit to 100, but just now the central government have prescribed it to be 50, rule 50 of the companies miscellaneous, okay, rule 10 of companies miscellaneous rule 2014. In that, government have prescribed the maximum limit of partners in a firm to 50. So in board, if a question comes what is the maximum limit of partners, then you have to answer it 50. Okay, don't write 100. Now the next point is agreement. See, partnership is a relation which comes into existence because of agreement between persons. Okay, so partnership is the result of either written or oral agreement. The agreement can be written or oral, but it is always advisable that there should be a written agreement between the partners so as to avoid any kind of confusion, and the written agreement is known as partnership deed. About the partnership deed we will discuss later on, the content of partnership deed and all. Okay, and the provisions in the absence of partnership deed. Next feature is existence of business. No, lawful business should be there. Now see, partnership is a relationship between persons to carry on a business. Now what are the features of business? Business is done on a regular basis, okay, with the objective of earning profit, and a risk element is present there. Risk is there. Okay, partnership is formed to carry on some business. Business is done on regular basis. Okay, keep this thing in mind. If there is a transactions once or twice in a year, it is not done on a regular basis, like buying a property and selling it after few years will not be considered as business. Okay, so it should be done on a regular basis with the objective of earning profit. Okay, earning profit is a necessary feature of business, and there is uncertainty. Risk element is also there in the business, like co-ownership of asset is not business. Next point is sharing of profit. Okay, whatever profit is earned by the business will be shared by the partners in an agreed ratio. If no agreement is there, then all the partners will share it equally. Now this point is important. Okay, it is not necessary for all the partners to share the losses. Again, charitable activity will not, if people come together to do charitable activity on a regular basis, then also it will not be called as partnership. Agency relationship. Okay, now there is a agency relationship between the partners. Each partner is agent as well as principal, and they bind each other by their actions. Okay, so an agent because he can bind the other partners by his act, and he is a principal because he can be bound by the action of other partners. Okay, this is one of the drawbacks of partnership, because if any partner commits something wrong, and because of his mistakes all the other partners have to bear the losses. Next point, okay, no separate legal entity. Okay, in the eyes of law, partnership and partners are same. They do not have a separate legal existence. But from the accounting point of view, accounting is done separately. Okay, the partners and business are considered as separate. All the transactions are recorded from the viewpoint of business, but legally the business do not have a separate legal entity. That's why all the partners have unlimited liability. Their personal assets can be used to repay the liability of business. Okay, and this point is important. Since they do not have a separate legal entity, whatever agreement is entered by the firm can be enforced individually on all the partners. Okay, individually the agreements can be enforced. If a third party wants to file a case, it can file a case against all the partners jointly, or it can file a case against one single partner individually. Okay, that's why it is written. No, it means that all the agreements entered with the firm can be enforced against each partner separately or jointly.